Around 6.3 million years ago, Earth was a radically different place compared to the modern world. The continents had already assumed a shape similar to their current configuration, but the climate, fauna, flora, and ecosystems were shaped by millions of years of geological and biological evolution. This moment in natural history is crucial because it marks the emergence of an enigmatic creature that, unknowingly, would set in motion the evolutionary path toward what we now call humanity. This period lies right at the threshold where human ancestors began to diverge from the great African apes. What occurred in the shadows of evolution during that time still echoes in our biology, behaviors, and the ways we inhabit the planet. A world in transition. Climate, landscapes, and geography. By the late Miocene epoch, Africa was a land of contrasts. The vast tropical rainforests that once dominated large portions of the continent were starting to fragment due to a gradual global cooling trend. Polar ice masses were beginning to solidify, which disrupted rainfall patterns across eastern Africa. These climatic changes had profound ecological effects. Dense forests were slowly replaced by open savannas, dry woodlands, and transitional zones, where multiple species adapted to various environments. The East African Rift, a massive geological fault line still active today, was already a region of intense volcanic activity and seismic shifts. These geological forces continuously reshaped the landscape, forming lakes, mountain ranges, and deep valleys. This region, what would later be called the cradle of humanity, offered a unique, ecological mosaic where diverse forms of life could thrive. In this dynamic environment, animal life was undergoing significant transformations. Mammals such as early elephants, giraffes, antelopes, and prehistoric big cats were beginning to populate the open landscapes. Many of these animals adapted to running long distances or grazing for extended periods. Predators, in turn, became more specialized, faster, and more intelligent. The struggle for survival was relentless, and only those who could adjust to the shifting climate and ecosystem managed to leave descendants. The first steps of the human lineage amid this changing world, a key creature emerged. Sahelanthropus chadensis, discovered in 2001 in the Jurab Desert of Chad. This hominid is considered one of the earliest known ancestors of modern humans. Its fossilized skull, estimated to be between 6.8 and 6 million years old, displays a mix of features that places it in a special position within the primate evolutionary tree. The most striking feature of Sahelanthropus is not just its age, but the position of its foramen magnum, the hole at the base of the skull where the spine connects. Its placement suggests that this creature could walk upright, or at least spend part of its time in a bipedal posture. This seemingly minor detail revolutionizes our understanding of human evolution. It means that bipedalism, walking on two legs, was one of the earliest defining traits of our lineage, appearing long before the expansion of the brain. With a brain roughly the size of a modern chimpanzee's and a face that was flatter than that of other apes, Sahelanthropus was a transitional being. It wasn't fully human, but it wasn't a typical ape either. Its existence proves that human evolution was not a straight line, but a complex web of species with overlapping traits and unique adaptations. A day in the life of Sahelanthropus. Imagining a day in the life of Sahelanthropus chadensis is speculative, but based on its anatomy and environment, we can form a reasonable picture. These early hominids likely lived in small social groups, similar to modern chimpanzee bands, and moved between wooded areas and open spaces in search of food and safety. Their diet was probably omnivorous, consisting of fruits, leaves, roots, insects, and possibly small animals. Access to water sources was vital, and the region's lakes and rivers offered hydration as well as abundant vegetation and prey. Predators were a constant threat. Saber-toothed cats, prehistoric crocodiles, and large raptors prowled the landscape. Constant vigilance and group cooperation were necessary for survival. Infants were especially vulnerable, which may have encouraged early forms of social bonding and group protection. While there is no direct evidence of tool use from this time, some scientists speculate that even these early hominids could have used stones or sticks in rudimentary ways.